people hear the phrase allergic to water, most find it hard not to laugh. But what actually happens when you do become allergic to water? What is a day in the life of someone with an allergy to water like? Well, let me show you. Let me be honest with you. Most mornings I don't set an alarm. For me, most days my skin is my alarm clock, because a lot of the time my nights are very difficult. I have very broken sleep because my allergic reactions are so persistent, and most mornings I am woken up by sharp pains at some point. The pains progress gradually, so for a while I can bear it until it finally turns into a stabbing pain, which eventually wakes me up. So I'll check the time, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm not particularly happy this morning. I have stabbing pains all over my arm. I can feel itching on my chest, and my skin just feels dry and sore. So when I'm itching, I always grab my Emmeline spray and spray that on my arm. 1, because it's cold, and 2, because it provides my skin with some moisture. So I head out of my bedroom and I head to the bathroom because I need the toilet. So I never ever sit down on the toilet seat, because I find that my skin making contact with the toilet seat actually makes the allergic reaction after I go to the toilet a lot worse. After going to the toilet, it's time to wash my hands, because hygiene for me is so important. I think a lot of people assume that I skip a lot of everyday tasks which involve water, but that is quite the opposite. I don't have allergic reactions every single time I wash my hands. It's a bit unpredictable. I head back to my room and just hope for the best. When I get back into my room, I'm turning on the fan. I always have my fan going just to try to maintain a good temperature and to stop myself from breaking out into any sweat. I'm itching all on the back of my legs and my bum area, so although I don't really want to, I am sliding slowly back into bed. The itch is starting to travel up my back and I'm starting to overheat quite a lot. So you can see I'm taking off my jumper just to cool myself down a little bit before I start to sweat, which will inevitably make me have allergic reactions all over the rest of my body as well. So when this happens to me, I just lay down and I just try to mentally talk myself through it. I allow myself to feel the pain. I don't feel that it's something that I can distract myself from very easily. I tend to rub my skin because I don't like to scratch it. I don't like to break the skin. I've put a new jumper on now because although I had to take off what I was previously wearing because I started to get hot, now that I've cooled down, it's actually really uncomfortable and really risky for me to just chill and hang around with no clothes covering my skin. And that sounds really strange, but I heavily avoid skirts, shorts, t-shirts and things that don't cover my skin in its entirety, because I am much more prone to having allergic reactions when my skin is exposed. Because you must remember, my skin is not only allergic to water, but I'm also allergic to dust, I'm allergic to pollen, and I also have eczema. And for me to wear my skin out is just not comfortable, especially in bed. By the time the allergic reaction has actually started to subside, I've actually been laying here for 35 minutes. Sometimes from going to the toilet, my allergic reactions can last over an hour. So today I'm actually feeling really lucky. I'm just really tired now. So the problem is that when I wake up and I have an allergic reaction, and that's the first thing that I do, not only did I open my eyes and I was having an allergic reaction, but then I've had to go to the toilet as well, and I've then added to the intensity of that allergic reaction. And that feels like enough to drain me of the energy that I've spent all of that time in the night trying to regain. The pain is now really intense on my back. It's just not comfortable now to lay on my back, so you can see I'm shifting around and laying on my front just to give the area having the allergic reaction a bit of a break from the pressure of the weight of my body, and just seeing if I can take a bit of a nap on my front, see if I can get comfortable. After having used so much energy on my allergic reactions already, I realise that I feel really weak and just quite sick. So I'm making a phone call to my mum, and she's downstairs because I live with her, and I'm just making a call just to ask if she could bring me something to eat.
Hi, could you please bring me something to eat, just something to give me a bit of energy, because I've woken up having allergic reactions and I feel so sick.
So after I've eaten and it's restored some of my energy, I finally make it downstairs to say good morning to my family and to do some normal things like grab a glass of water. It feels so good to finally make it beyond the top floor of the house. Some days I don't even make it this far, so it feels amazing to see my day moving forward. I feel like this is where my day does actually begin, because this is the first point of my day where I actually feel like Niah. It's often a very short window, but I like this time of day. I just find pleasure in just getting out of bed, and on the days that I can't get out of bed, it really does hit me. I hate it. After I've been downstairs, I've had a glass of water, I've said good morning to my family, it is now time to take my medication. Some of these medications are for my mental health, and then I also take a combination of vitamins and iron as well. And then I'm using my blood pressure monitor. And then I'm taking this ear thermometer, which is also by Braun, and I'm just using this to take my temperature and make sure that everything is normal. And then my next obstacle of the day is to get washed and dressed. I don't take a shower every single day by any means. Instead, I use a bed bath solution. So it's something that people who are bedbound may use, people in care homes, the elderly may use it, because it doesn't require going to the bathroom and it doesn't require water for it. So I like to just use a flannel, and I use this solution just to wash my vital areas. This solution doesn't cause me pain because I only use it on the harder areas of skin. I use it on my armpits, but I wouldn't ever use it on my arms or my legs because I feel that it would irritate the softer skin. But the thing that does cause me pain from doing this is the fact that when I dress and undress, the abrasion of the clothing against my skin does actually cause me a lot of pain, and it does more often than not induce an allergic reaction. My skin will start to itch and burn, almost as though it's had contact with water, even though it hasn't, which is something that my doctors really just don't understand yet. So although it should feel nice and refreshing to get a fresh set of clothes on, it doesn't feel good. And before the time that I actually finish getting dressed, my skin is itching and starting to burn. So the best thing that I can actually do here is rest. At this point, my main emotion is frustration, and I have to just work really hard to keep my emotions controlled and just keep telling myself that this is completely out of my control. At this point, I might grab my phone. I sometimes answer emails in this time, although somehow, whenever I'm on my phone, I always find myself drawn back to checking on my GoFundMe, just because my treatment is always at the forefront of my mind, especially on days like this when I'm in so much pain. And I'm just thinking, I just wish I was back in Germany and receiving my treatment. But I like to keep an eye on the GoFundMe and just remind myself each day that the amount that has been raised already is so amazing, and I should be so proud of the fact that people want to support my journey and want to see me improve and want to see me get better. And that gets me out of bed sometimes. It's the hope that one day this could all just change. So now that the itching is actually calming down, I've decided I'm going to do my hair. And that's not because doing my hair is at the top of my list of priorities. I just feel that after all of the allergic reactions I've had this morning, I think I deserve to feel a little bit better. Then it's teeth brushing time. Brushing my teeth isn't actually too scary of a task for me, and it really only causes an allergic reaction if I let it like dribble onto my skin. They're nice and sparkly now, I'm smiling, but now I need a wee. Don't mind the box of tissues there, that's literally because I ran out of toilet roll and I just replaced it with a box of tissues until I could get downstairs. But yeah, pretty much as soon as I've finished doing my wee and pulled my trousers up, look, I'm in a lot of pain. It's itching all around my hips, my legs, and yeah, I need another break because I needed a wee. So it's been about 45 minutes now and I'm still feeling like absolute dog shit. My bum is still itching and I can feel another wee creeping up on me. So I have to head back to the toilet and I'm still in pain. But how do you get rid of a wee apart from doing it? Being allergic to doing a wee is something I never ever thought about until it was my life. It's pretty awful. Things are pretty intense now that I'm back in bed. That's now 2 wees in a row. So I was still in the process of recovering from the first one. So now my bum and my legs and the bottom of my back as well are on fire. There's nothing I can do to stop this apart from wait. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, I want you to do a tally or just keep count of the amount of times that you go to the toilet, whether that's a number 1 or a number 2, just keep track and comment down below how many allergic reactions you would have had in a day if you were allergic to going to the toilet. So when my skin is finally at a point where I do feel a little bit more capable of getting a bit more work done, that's when I get my bed desk out, and whilst I'm still resting physically, I can just tap away and work at my little setup in bed. So that's what you see me doing here. I'm just getting some work done, doing a bit of editing. Yeah, here it comes. So after editing for just over 2 hours, I, in true Niah style, started to feel very sick. This often happens to me, and it is a symptom that the doctors in Germany are wanting to investigate, because it's not normal to have migraines and experience sickness to the same level that I do alongside these allergic reactions. There's no real explanation as to why I suffer in so many different ways, but I do find it really hard to function when I can so often randomly feel and be physically sick, which is what has happened now. So it's abruptly brought my editing session to an end, and now I feel incredibly dizzy. After this, I was very sick, and again found myself brushing my teeth for the second time today. And I just guess until a doctor can explain otherwise why it happens, then I'm just left wondering and just have to keep trying to navigate my way through all of these strange little symptoms that I experience alongside my allergic reactions. After being sick, I realised that my skin really didn't feel good. I think it's from where you break out in a sweat, or I know I do when I'm sick, but obviously I have the added obstacle of being allergic to my own sweat. So it's time for me to take a nap, and although it may seem early still for me to take a nap, my energy levels would say otherwise. In a regular world, in a regular body, it would be too early to take a nap. So I didn't stir, I did not move for a solid 2.5 hours. So now that I'm opening my eyes, it's literally like 6 p.m. I have slept the rest of my day away, which I want to be annoyed about, but I also know that my body has been through it today. I've had so many horrible symptoms, and I just feel that my body wouldn't have allowed me to sleep if it didn't need to sleep. So it's whatever. I needed a rest, and that is what a lot of my days are like. As I start to really wake up, I realise that I do still feel pretty sick, and I do feel very weak as well. So before I get up, I'm reaching to my medicine bag and I'm taking a glucose tablet, and it's just going to give me a little rush of energy, or enough energy to get out of bed and hopefully get dinner sorted without feeling sick or being sick again. So I really do need something food wise to get my energy back. I've realised that my mum and dad have already eaten because they were out today, which is absolutely fine. Mark is at football, so I'll have to sort something myself. So I'm heading on to Deliveroo, which is not ideal, but I think it's definitely my best chance of survival right now. So I'm just getting some chicken, and I'm going to get some rice as well, and I think I'm just going to slowly try to put together a katsu curry. I have like an easy meal kit downstairs, so I thought I could just top up the ingredients that I don't have and just cook myself a quick meal, and then when Mark gets back there'll be a meal here for him as well. So I just get that all ordered, then I rush off to go and prepare my dinner. After dinner, I do take the opportunity to do a bit more editing, just because this is my job, and if it was a job where I was employed, I would have got the sack a long time ago. I carry on editing for another 2 hours, which is super draining. It can be so draining on your eyes, but it's kind of good because it did get me tired enough to be ready for bed again. So right now it's 9:30 and Mark is back from football, but he had to shower and then eat his dinner late, so he's not in bed yet, but I'm calling it a day. I'm so tired, and my skin has reached a point of soreness, which happens a lot when I have a day of allergic reactions, where it just kind of feels bruised and painful to touch. I reach a point where no matter what clothing I'm wearing, it just feels sore and painful. I get changed into some comfy clothing, so I like to wear joggers and like a loose fitting jumper or top to bed. I make sure that the fan's going, and then I turn the lights out and I go to sleep. My hopes for tomorrow are genuinely just that I can wake up pain free and just have a little bit less pain than I did today. I'm hoping that I have a good sleep and that I sleep through the night and I wake up feeling fresh and happy. But who knows, we'll have to see how my skin chooses to treat me in the morning when I wake up. Fuck. Oh my god, what is the time? I can't believe I'm awake again. Today really is the day from hell. Mark's next to me now, so I have to be super quiet because he has work tomorrow and I obviously don't want to wake him up. But I've woken up and my entire body is burning and it's 4 a.m. All down my legs is burning, like someone's poured acid on my skin. It is so painful. I don't know what to do. Like, I actually just need to get up and get out of this room. So I'm gonna have to try and slowly just get myself downstairs and into a room where I'm not gonna wake anyone else up. I'm so annoyed I'm awake, but it's not my fault. I can hear the rain outside pouring down outside my windows, and this is usually what happens on a rainy night for me and my skin. I have allergic reactions even from inside the house when it's raining outside, just because it causes so much humidity in the air and it makes the air so wet. Not only am I super tired, but my skin is just burning so severely that I decide that I need to smoke something. Now, this isn't YouTube appropriate, so I'm gonna blur this shit out. But sometimes I smoke for pain relief. There's no pain medication that I can take that I don't have a very high chance of getting addicted to. And a lot of the time it makes me feel sick, drowsy, and overall it doesn't actually stop my allergic reaction when I take painkillers. It just makes me tired enough, or it numbs the pain just enough for me to start to fall asleep. But it's not sustainable. So I have found relief in smoking every now and then. And when I say smoking, I don't mean tobacco. I mean a natural plant which is well known for its pain relieving properties. And this really, really helps me on nights like this when I really have no other options. And all I want is to get back to sleep so that I have a good chance of having a better day tomorrow. So I smoke my shit, I let it do its thing, and then I go back to bed and I see the rest of the night out until I wake up the next morning and it starts again. As you guys know, I'm currently fundraising to help with my expenses getting treatment over in Germany. So if you'd like to donate, then all of the GoFundMe details will be in the description box and also in the comment section as well. So far we've raised £18,719 at the time that I'm making this video. But there are a lot of expenses that come with private medical care, and any donations really would be so appreciated because it really could contribute to changing my life. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.